If you got into smoking because this was the only way you could spend time with your boss and hence improve your career, at that point of time, it was a necessary habit. Many people talk about breaking a bad habit.
Labeling good and bad habits, is it okay or not?
There's no such thing as a good or bad habit.
Yeah.
There is only a habit. Now you have to ask yourself, is this habit moving me towards my goal or away from my goal? And that's how I see it, right? Smoking. If you got into smoking because this was the only way you could spend time with your boss and hence improve your career, at that point of time, it was a necessary habit. Now that you're already the boss and you don't have to impress anyone, do you still need to smoke? So that habit is no longer serving you. So what we have to do is all the habits that we feel are holding us back, we need to realize that it's no longer serving me. Can I tweak this? See, as soon as we say good habit, bad habit, we're using guilt and shame to make a change. More importantly, who are you to say this is good or bad? Now judgment is coming in, ego is coming in, all the other stuff that we try to move away from is coming in. There's no point labeling these things. Just think, if I do more of this habit, will it turn it into that vision that I have of myself? Or if I do less of this habit, it's going to be there. That's how we start looking at it. Now, since you asked about good and bad habits, many people talk about breaking a bad habit, right?
The language they use is.
The language.
Yeah. We have to be watchful what words we use in our head also, right? Yeah, good.
The words we use are habits, right?
Correct.
And how watchful we are. I used to keep having this debate with my dad. He's like, Ashdin, I can't keep being so conscious about all the words. No, Dad, every word you utter is going to change something in the world around you. Be extremely careful. Even our ums and ahs, etc., all our filler words are extremely important. Anyway, coming back to this. So when we talk about bad habits and breaking a bad habit, the word breaking means that now you'll have an empty space. When you have an empty space, the body and mind want to fill it with something. You have to be very careful what goes inside. If you just focus on the breaking of a bad habit, something else will come that still might not be in lines with what you want. So instead, what I tell is replace a habit. Know what you're going to replace that habit with. So for example, many people have a habit of coming back from work and pouring themselves a drink. Why do they do that? One of two reasons. One, that drink is the full stop for the working day. Working day over, now I can relax, full stop. Or they might be lonely and the drink is their companion. So that means we have to solve for the companion problem and for the full stop problem. It's not the alcohol problem. So how do we now think about what we can replace for that full stop and what can we replace for that, that loneliness that the person is feeling? So either you can go to the gym in the evening instead of the morning. That is also a good full stop. You can, go for a drive, listen to music, do your meditation, whatever. But find something to replace that bad habit with, the habit you don't want. I often think of it as if you ever watched the Indiana Jones movie where he picks up this idol and has to replace it immediately before the pressure sensor feels that something has changed. That is what our life is like. You have to move the habit and put something new in very quickly.
When you say it, it looks very easy, but it's actually not that easy. Because let's take a habit, for example. Somebody who's got a long, stressful day.
Yeah.
And in their head, they want to relax. And for them, as you rightly said, going back home, seeing Netflix and having 2 glasses of whiskey will relax them.
I deserve it.
Yeah. In their head, right? So, which means in a stressful day, I feel that's a trigger. And the reward they want is they want to relax.
Correct.
And the routine habit which is kicked in is 2 glasses of whiskey and Netflix.
Yes.
Right. So, ideally what you're saying is for them here, if they have a stressful day, they want to relax, they have to change that routine. And that has to be consciously done.
Correct.
Can you replace it with a 30-minute walk or go to a gym? Now that we're told that, how do we do it? Because this has been wired for so long.
Yes.
And it's been working, right? Immediately you have 2 glasses, you relax and you don't think about work and you're done.
Yes.
So now how do you consciously do it? Now that we know that we have to change the routine there, how do we do it?
So what you do is you start making the change when you have energy. When you don't have energy, the ability to make decisions goes out the window, right? You have a salad in the fridge, you have a brownie in the fridge, but after a long day of work, you will have the brownie, not the salad. So it's not that the option wasn't there. It was that the energy was not there. That is number one. Your choices come from your energy level. So in the morning when you have full energy, what you do is you pack your bags with your walking shoes and your walking clothes. And you take that with you to the office.
So you make the decision in the morning.
You make the decision in the morning when you have your energy full. And in the office, before leaving, is when you change your clothes for your morning walk or evening walk. What you're doing is you're removing the ability to go home and then fight that inertia of sitting down on that chair or that routine, sitting on the chair, pouring the drink, etc. You can also do more extreme things like locking your cupboard and giving the key to your neighbor.
Which means you can't reach for the whiskey
You can't
bottle.
reach for the whiskey bottle. So there are different ways in which you would approach it. But the first one is understanding that don't use willpower to try and make this change. Because it's like my mom. My mom will say, no, Ashdin, I'm trying to fight my urge to eat my chocolates. And her entire room is full of chocolates. I was like, this is a losing battle. Clearly. So what we have to do is we have to understand its energy plus the kind of environment that we create around us.